And then I think it's really sad because once that never gets healed, and we already talked about how trauma can shape our memories of the past.
I've always been like this. Women have always been like that. This is all women.
Yeah, right. But the thing is, there's such a big cognitive bias in your head. So it's not that all women. And then the other more crippling thing that then happens is once you adopt these attitudes of disrespect of women as human beings.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Absolutely. So you're like, oh, women just want money. And then in your subconscious or conscious mind, even if you don't say it out loud, if it's in your subconscious, you are going to create a transactional relationship with people. And then what'll happen is that when you approach things transactionally, I just think you want money. I will trade, I'm going to buy you dinner and you're going to give me sex. When this is the way that you approach a human being, one of two things will happen. If the human being is okay with transactional relationships, they'll stay. If they're not okay with transactional relationships, they'll leave. And then what happens is the only people that I end up in relationships with are transactional. So it absolutely becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And once again, Chris, I'm amazed by, how good you are at this stuff, dude. Like, I don't know how you figured that shit out, but I did it by reading 1,000 research articles. But
I got to speak to people that have read 1,000 research articles a few times, which helped. No, I appreciate that. I'm fascinated by it, dude. I really am. You mentioned earlier on about creator burnout, some of the challenges that people are seeing. We've seen a great quitting of YouTube over the last 6 months. I think a lot of high-profile YouTubers really stepping back. You've been working at the forefront of this scene for a long time. What do you make of the great resignation of content creators that's happened kind of recently?
So I think the first thing is that I think that content creators have a much harder life than many people realize. I think you probably understand this. And it's not that we're not grateful, but I was talking to a family member of mine and he's like, how do you like it? Right. Because I don't do a whole lot of clinical practice anymore. And so I told him something that I didn't quite appreciate, which is that I haven't had a day off in 4 years, 4.5 years now. I've literally not had a day off. So I will go on vacations. But if you're a content creator, anytime you go on a vacation, the uploads need to continue. So you have to do whatever work needs, like I have to do that work ahead of time or after. So you never get a break. That's number one. And that's very different from medicine. Like, so in medicine, when I go on vacation, I sign out my pager. I have someone who covers for my patients, and they literally take care of everything when I'm not there. So the work gets done in your absence.